Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. Today's Thursday, July 23rd, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's a very special day. It's the first day of Leo season. And if you know anything about Leo season, it's ruled by the sun. It's also ruled by the symbol of the lion. And who better to bring in than our own Lions fan? He's got the Lions mate. Look at your hair. You got the cat in the background. It couldn't be a more appropriate day to welcome you in here. Welcome to the show, Jeary. Nice to have you back.
Appreciate it, man. Always love being here. And yeah, first day of Leo season. All the omens are lining up, and I think we're going to draft some great teams because of it, my friend.
Hell yeah. Love the vibes of summer are finally here. So I'm excited. We're gonna get a little bold today, and I wanted to make sure you just trust your confidence, man. Now that we're in basically August, I basically view this as August. You know, technically it's not, but August on the calendar is where you fucking plant your flag and get your guys. So that's what we're here to do today, and you're gonna lead the show. But you know, we'll have a good lively discourse as always. Let's. Oh, do I have shit? I don't think I shared the. I didn't have the screen set up. A little bit slow.
We're getting too hyped backstage, y'all.
Yeah. It's all fine. But let me bring it in. There we go. That's so we'll draft in the Badgers, which launch today later. But first, we're gonna do a fast puppy, and just for the sake of time, no countdown. If you made it to the beginning and you're ready, we will enter the fast puppy right now. So let's hop in, and I'm grateful that Jeary is available earlier in the day. Typically, we'd be going live a little bit later, but I have some plans later, so we're live earlier than typical, and appreciate that. Not only you and everyone watching. We got pick 7, bro. Do you are you just Amon-Ra at pick 7 pretty much instantly at this point?
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. When you started this stream and you said, Leo, it's the time of the sun and time of the Lions, who better than the sun god himself? Come on now. If we get a Amon-Ra St. Brown, we're no question, okay? I don't care if Jamar Chase falls to 7 or taking St. Brown on this team. We have to.
Hell yeah. Love it, man. Fitting for the theme. Maybe we get sniped, but even if we do, we're gonna draft him at some point. I know that. But let's bring in the chat real quick. Wilson's in here with our first comment. This is gonna be a good one. Thanks for joining us. We got Pepper Tony Fimps today. A-Rod dropping the blunt emojis. Yo, what's up? Danimal. This is an elite combo. What's up, fam? It's finally not Google translating. We got the actual sup fam. It's not a family soup with Who Hames. And then Melenas de Leon. Let's go. Love the Spanish in the chat. What's up, Hartman? How we doing? We will be live with Hartman on his channel Monday. At least I will. And you were live with him the other day.
Yeah. We went live on his channel, then went live on mine after. I like drafting with Hartman, man. Sharp guy.
Yeah, good vibes. Hartman knows his shit, and always a good time. We got. Is this true, Jeary? Is this really how you feel?
Who Hames is a snitch, man. what is going on right here? This guy's snitching.
Well, if you're not drafting him enough, then that's just more for me. So I'm chill with that. We did.
Oh, come on.
Well, he knows man. He knows where to go. That's fine. What would you like instead?
We'll just take CMC. We'll be simple today.
I respect it. It's just a bet on health, right? Like, what other fear is there?
Yeah, pretty much. I will say, though, like, I've been getting a little bold and pulling up some James Cook pretty high recently.
I remember back when, like, the first entries started, like, I forget if I felt this way in the pre-draft or I think it was the pre-draft. I was taking Cook, like, above Lamb, above Jefferson. I thought he was, like, the safest running back you could take. And I'm not really sure why I don't do it anymore. I just kind of stopped because nobody else does, I guess.
Well, I think it's just like a boring click. Like I was taking Genty above Cook for the most part this offseason, but the more I'm thinking about it, like why is he not just going to smash again? His offensive coordinator is promoted to head coach. He's being talked about being used in the passing game even more. They might give Ray Davis a few more carries, but if he gets used in the passing game more because of it, then that's a win. Double-digit touchdowns seem pretty locked, really. So he's on the Bills, man.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. We are back on the clock.
Let's take Achan.
Yeah, tell me
Yeah,
about him because I'm pretty underweight, man. I'm scared.
I am too. Yeah, I'm a little scared too, but I'm thinking about it. Like, are we just wrong and like overthinking all of that? I know, like, I don't really like taking players on bad teams, and I expect the Dolphins to be ass, but how different really is the situation from last year? And what does a down year from Achan even look like? Like, is he still going to get some games with 30 plus points? Probably. And, Bills week 17, their rush defense wasn't that great last year.
No, the matchup's pretty sweet. If you make it to week 17 with Achan, that should you'd think crush. Um, but like it's just the Mike McDaniel element, like all the flashy plays that are just gone, and like I don't know, I don't remember the exact rankings on O lines, but the Dolphins don't strike me as one that makes you feel confident. Do you feel differently about the O line?
No, I don't really know much about their offensive line at all, other than the Lions got one of their guys in free agency.
Okay.
Uh, but I expect them to probably be pretty bad. But if he still gets like 6 catches a game, that's very possible.
He should get all the volume. I'm just like, when the fuck are they actually getting in the red zone? Like, maybe I'm just so down on the Dolphins and stuff, but like, I just don't really see the path for them to have winning game script and like actually punch in touchdowns. So this is ADP.
Yeah, I had some of that hesitation too. Here I'm Zay Flowers. Usually, I like
You
him
got it.
over Olave. I just think the Ravens are going to be a better team. Essentially, I trust their quarterback more. And I mean, he quietly had 1,200 yards last year.
He did. It's not the most consistent play where like from week to week you might get 100 plus yards, but that's kind of what you want in best ball. Where like the weeks where he doesn't, if he's not hitting your lineup anyways, who cares if it's 9 points or two? So I do like that. It's kind of the same bet why I'm worried about Achan. The touchdown production has never quite been there. So if this year is just different, I don't want to be wrong. So I still take him a decent amount, but I'm not fully sold he's better than Olave or Egbuka or even Garrett Wilson. But I do rank him higher than everyone but Higgins.
Yeah, that's fair. I like Higgins quite a bit as well. Some of the injury stuff just scares me a bit, but weekly ceiling, he's so good.
When you look at his stats last year, his numbers were really impacted by the Tyler Huntley games. Like Lamar Jackson missing time did also limit some of his production. So if you're telling me Lamar stays fully healthy, 1,200 yards would probably be his floor. What's the true ceiling? If you weren't hesitating, what would you think the ceiling projection on Flowers could be?
Um, Shoot, like actual ceiling, I would say like 1350 and 8.
Not even double digit touchdowns?
I don't know, man. It's still a little tough. Here, like, man, ETN's fallen a lot.
He
That's a little
is.
intriguing, but if you want me to take my stands, I love Tet.
Okay. I've been meaning to get more of Terra McMillan, so I'm chill with that. I have so much Travis, so even though the discount's there, it's like, well, if the market's really fading him, then maybe I can get back in at his true bottom. But I don't need to force it. Talk to me about Tet McMillan though, because I've like there's a few picks here, like Achan and Tet especially. I'm just not taking as often, so sell me on it.
Yeah, it really just feels like the next Drake London. If you're asking me, being talked about used as like a power slot receiver now, which I mean, creating matchups, taking advantage there. I think it'll be easier for Bryce Young to find him there too. So he's a top 10 pick going into his second year after putting up 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. I just don't really want to overthink it that much, and it's just a profile I want to bet on.
Yeah, and that Dave Canales system, I remember when I was live with Who Hames, I believe on Tuesday, we heard about this as well. And I looked into the stats the last time Canales had like Chris Godwin, like what were the stats there in the slot specifically? Him and Mike Evans that year, Mike Evans was still kind of in his prime. They were both tied for like 130 targets, but like Godwin had like 1,200, 1,300 yards. It was like an insane. He just was missing on the touchdowns, but he had an insane stat line that year in the slot.
Yeah, I mean, Tet was pretty inconsistent overall last year. Had some pretty underwhelming games, but he's also a rookie with Bryce Young having a full offseason, getting some chemistry. And I don't trust their run game either. I don't like Chuba or Brooks. I know Brooks apparently looked good in practice today, so good for him. But I kind of like their passing game a little more.
It's either gonna completely crash out or it should take another step. So it's fair to make the bet. I assumed he might fall into the fifth at some point, but he just never does. We are in the fifth, though.
Yeah,
Where would you like to go?
I think it's pretty easy. Just take Lamar. Let's
Okay.
not get cute. Just be simple. Like when you're looking at the guys around him, I don't really like Bucky. I'm pretty out on him. There's receivers after, but some of those guys you could take right here will fall back to you in round 6. We took Zay. Just be simple. I love the Zay Flowers Lamar Jackson stack. Lamar's my highest drafted quarterback.
It's such a money in the bank pick. Like, only injury, it's kind of like the Christian McCaffrey argument. Like, unless he gets off the field because he goes down, like, where is he just not paying off? Unless is the offense just drastically going to change because there's a new offense coordinator? I doubt it. He dropped like 25 points all of those first 3 weeks, if not 27, 29, when he was fully healthy, and then he just got hurt. So I'm don't have to convince me. It feels like one of the like true always right picks in the fifth, and then with Flowers, even better.
I'll tell you what, man, sports books are definitely betting on Lamar Jackson being healthy because if you look at their win total, if you look at points scored, they're at the top, man, in the AFC.
It feels like a wise bet, but before I
Do
say
it.
anything, do I have to?
Do
Do I have to? You
it.
didn't say his name. Do I have who? Do it with who?
Take my boy Parker. Take my
All
boy
right.
P Wash. Dude, you know what's
All right.
funny? I was looking at like some of the drafts that we did before. We did like 2 pit bulls together, right? Like 2 of those $20 drafts.
That
I
sounds
looked
right.
at both of them. Both of them had Brian Thomas on them.
Let's go.
So I figure we could just use each other's channels to get exposure to both guys, in Jacksonville.
That's fair. I got up to about 9% P wash and I saw it on these, and I was like, this feels too high. Let's stop doing it for a minute. And I think I'm sitting at 6%. So to trickle back up to 8, that's fine. 7.5 is probably the final place I'll stop. Do you worry about Travis Hunter at all, man? Like, or at
A
this
little
point
bit.
is not, yeah, because when I was looking at it, Parker Washington didn't do jack shit until Travis Hunter went down. And then it was like factoring in there were other injuries perennially throughout that receiving core in the weeks where he did show up. Like, I don't think he played so well. They have to give him a shot. They have to like let him see what he can do. Like, there's no way they're just going to put him back on the bench forever. But I kind of also feel like if Myers really showcases well, or if Hunter just has one big blow up game, he's the guy whose role will be taken away from, unless they're just like willing to trade Jacoby Myers.
Well, I think Parker Washington just has the most versatile role on that offense. If you really think about it, like Brian Thomas is a vertical guy. Jacoby Myers, like kind of a slot only, like leader, blocking receiver. Parker Washington does it all. Like he gets carries out of the backfield. He goes across the middle. He lines up out wide. He gets used in the red zone. He's like their guy. Right here, man. I think Chuba's just the best click. As gross as it might sound.
Okay.
Let's not jump to conclusions though.
Is that
When
what
we're
you
looking
want?
at the other guys, like I don't like Kraft, Harvey, Dowdle. We can get those guys in the next round. I don't know, man. Are we overthinking Chuba as well? It might be bad, but
I think the argument for Chuba is just to not believe that Brooks can stay healthy. Like
well, that's kind of what I'm betting on anyways.
that's a
So
fair bet. That's a fair bet. I don't think it's. I've expected his price to go down. It just never fucking falls into the 8th or where I really think it should be in at least the ninth. I feel like they should go back to back. So I don't have any of them, and it seems like this is the price I'm gonna have to pay. But yeah, if this is the stance you want to take, you want a little $100 bet on it?
No, man, it's just funny because Hartman, when I was streaming with him, he was under the impression I was a big Chuba guy, but I
Okay.
looked at my exposure. I have like 2% or 3%, something like that. I'm very low, but I'm wondering if I'm too low for how low I am on Jonathan Brooks.
What's your percentage on Brooks?
I think I've drafted him 3 times, and all of them are in puppies.
Oh shit! Next time I'm on your channel, we're taking Brooks.
Oh gosh.
Definitely. Yeah, I think you mentioned how you're a little bit fading the Panthers backfield earlier. You don't really fully believe in it, but at least on this team you took it, so you're willing to pull the trigger on occasion, and like
Well, he's
you
just
know,
getting cheaper. That's the thing, like, because drafting throughout the whole offseason, I like getting guys when they get cheaper.
yeah,
Right here,
yeah,
like for me, I usually just take Godwin.
okay.
I like some Godwin.
I'm fine with that. I think as long as he stays healthy, in week 17 he had a 100-yard game, so he just needs to be healthy. It's right there. It's the Bucks
Well,
passing.
he's been reported to be fully healthy this
Mhm.
offseason in training camp, which is the first time in 2 years. So I love hearing that, man, because I've drafted a ton of Godwin. I like his price more than Buka's price.
I mean, who Hames would agree with you. Who Hames kind of talked me off the ledge a little bit on Egbuka, but I just don't see the exact same upside where like the role that Godwin plays is usually like more of those shorter passes and like checkdowns. And like I was saying with those 2023 stats with Canales in the slot, like he did have just as many yards as like Mike Evans, just the same production. But in that season, like he only had 2 touchdowns, and like he doesn't usually get those like 30-yard, scores that Baker loves to throw. Baker usually looks to him when they're in the red zone in like goal to go situations, and they maybe not they don't run the ball as much in that offense anymore. But I worry about touchdowns for him. That's kind of a consistent theme with some of these picks where like I don't take them quite often because I worry about some of the touchdown upside. But
That's that's a really good point. That's totally fair. My next question for you is, first of all, are you in on the Bucks? Yes or no? Do you think they're a good offense?
yes,
So I'm wondering, where do their touchdowns go? Because I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to score a lot of touchdowns. Mike Evans is gone. He's been doing it there for 10 years. Like when you think about their guys, Godwin's not really a touchdown guy. Igbuka, no. McMillan, like he gets
Egbuka is.
touchdowns.
Egbuka
Well, he
is.
was at the start of last year,
When
but
he
he's not
was
like the
healthy,
typical like big body, like red zone type of guy.
he's big enough. He might not be like 6'5", but I'm not worried about that with him. I
I'm
mean,
just wondering, like, who's going to be the guy? And is it just Kate Otten?
no, it's not Kate Otten. I don't think it's. I think Ted Hurst is better than you might be giving him credit for. I think they're going to give a lot of touches to Sean Tucker. We're back on the
Oh,
clock.
Purdy.
Yeah, love it.
Purdy with
Really?
CMC.
You don't want double Panthers with Brooks? I can't interest you at all in
No,
Jonathan
you
Brooks?
could talk me into Kyle Pitts. I
You,
love Kyle Pitts, but I think just getting Purdy, he's just such a good value. I
yeah,
know we could get Baker later, probably. We could get Bryce Young, but Purdy's just so good.
he's as long as he's healthy, he's a top 6 quarterback in terms of like weekly upside. He can be the guy you need. It's the fucking Niners offense. Like really, let's not get cute. And that's where like I've started to take Pearsall like crazy in the 8th round, where it's like you're telling me Purdy falls a little bit or is like still on the board there, and I can tack him on with Pearsall. Feels pretty sweet. It used to be like you take Purdy first and then Pearsall's still there, but now it's if you want it, Pearsall has to go ahead.
Yeah, Pearsall's a little tough for me personally because one, he cost me a lot of money 2 years ago when he went off week 17, and just all the finals I was in. Turns out a lot of people had Ricky Pearsall, and I drafted him a lot last year. I had like 18% of him or something like that, and I thought it was going to be a great pick in the 7th round. I thought he was going to break out and started off pretty well, but the injuries and like some of the inconsistencies, lack of touchdowns, like really hurt.
Yeah, that is a problem. He had 0 touchdowns last year. And I was also basically this whole draft I've been like, yeah, but when is this guy scoring touchdowns? When the fuck is Ricky Pearsall scoring touchdowns? So very, very valid. We're back on the clock.
I
You
do we
just want
just take
Kittle?
George Kittle?
Yeah, I was asking thinking the same
I
thing.
think it just makes sense. Like I don't really have much of him, but I'm starting to think I shouldn't be completely out.
I am willing to still mix in Tonjes on occasion. I don't think Tonjes is fully irrelevant, but like it's really a slim chance that you need Tonjes instead of Kittle. So he's gonna be ready for week one. It sounds like he's ahead of schedule, and like it is an Achilles injury, but the tight end position, you don't need to be in your prime you know, athleticism to beat the linebackers lined up against you. And he only needs like 3 catches to give you 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he's so good at football when he's healthy. Like I've been to one NFL game. I traveled to the 49ers Detroit Lions game week 17 2 years ago. And man, I'll tell you, there's two people that look different on a football field. It was George Kittle and Jameer Gibbs. The
Yeah.
way those two guys moved compared to everyone else was just different. And like seeing that with your own eyes, like Kittle is just he's freaking good, man.
Well, he's got the same length of hair as you do, so might as well
That's my
be in
guy.
on that. He's a stud. Like, there's just no, as long as he's on the field, you want him in your lineup. And it's like I have a top three, if not the guy that wins me the week, any given chance.
Yeah, it's just the age and injury history that scare me, and that's why I have not drafted a lot of him when, like, going just less than 10 picks after Kyle Pitts, it's a little tough for me,
Yeah,
but
but
as
last
far as,
year
like,
he
weekly ceiling,
he closed in the third last year, man. Like we had I was drafting him there a shit ton. I had him on my redraft team, and even though he missed a bunch of time, like I was still so happy to have him when he came back, and like pretty much instantly he gives you like 10 points minimum every week. It's like a touchdown is so baked in. And then if you're not sold on Pearsall, if you're not sold on Stribling, if you have no concern on Christian Kirk, then where else is the ball going to go?
yeah, um, C-Rod's an easy pick if we wanna just take, another running back. I do take some of him.
For me, it's
Tracy, if
either
we wanna
him,
fade Scat.
either him or Kincaid. But I like C-Rod's
I
value
I
here.
would lean running back.
You got it.
Just because, like, thinking about 2 rounds later, we can get, like, Brenton Strange or Hunter Henry, which as a second tight end for a George Kittle feels good. But then you look at the running backs, you're looking at, like, Isaiah Pacheco, and it gets a little tough.
Yeah, the in terms of backups, like beyond C-Rod, you can talk yourself into Tracy. Some people believe in Keaton and Woody Marks and people like that, but I view them all as just handcuffs. And like the main bet I'm hoping for is injury, or because like I can't project and predict the 2 touchdown game that they might offer. The house call that's untouched. I just can't see that coming. That'll happen. But otherwise, the main bet for me is like, what happens if the guy above him goes down? What does he offer in those weeks where he's the starter? And I pick him up off the waiver wire and want to start him. Is he actually give me a top 20 week, or is he just like, this worthless flex play that caps out at like 8 points even with a touchdown?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I have no idea. This range just feels gross.
That's where C-Rod feels like just a safe click where like it's the Jags backfield, and I feel safe expecting red zone usage. So
Yeah, here it's Diggs or Goddard. Goddard
Diggs
goes.
is,
Diggs, easy click, yeah. Wide receiver 5 for a guy who's gonna go up in price. He might even go to the Ravens. I hope
he
not,
might.
but
It's possible. I mean, he's from that area. It's like people say he's from the Commanders area, but it's like what, an hour drive to the other stadium or something. Like they're very local, the Ravens and the Commanders. So I think both of those are live. If he wants a ring, makes sense. So yeah, we have Lamar. So if we luck into that stack, love it.
yeah, I will
Absolutely
say
love it.
this team we're building is very interesting. Like it could just absolutely crush. When you actually look at the players and you think about their ceilings, like it's a pretty good looking team.
Quick
But
recap
there's also
for
some very fragile pieces with some age and injury concerns.
I mean, Kittle, Godwin, I guess Diggs is in that category. But otherwise, it's just CMC. I guess the quarterbacks though. Yeah, the quarterbacks are mine. We got Lamar, Purdy, running back CMC, Achan, Chuba Hubbard, and Chris Rodriguez. And then our receiver room has Flowers, Tedder McMillan, Parker Washington, Chris Godwin, and Stephon Diggs. Coming back around, though, in round 13. Is there a structure you think you want to finish this team with?
Yeah, I'm definitely done at 2 quarterbacks, and I definitely want 3 tight ends. Looking at our running backs, I think depending on who we get as our 5th, we're probably done at 5, and then looking at 8 receivers.
I'm down for that, especially if we stop at 2 QBs. I'm totally chill with Lamar and Purdy stopping there.
Yeah, Purdy, Lamar, I'm done.
Yeah.
There's no third. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Unless you're just desperate for Mac Jones or something.
Mac Jones.
No,
My goodness.
that'd be a death nail if that's who you get stuck with in the lineup. But
yeah, let's see receivers and tight ends. Do you want to just take Juwan here? It's Juwan. Yeah, I think it's Juwan.
there's a big fall off at tight end the rest of the way. So yeah, I'm chill with that.
As our 2, it's Juwan because we can get receivers in this pocket on the way back. And yeah, Sadiq, I'm out on. Hawkinson, I'm out on. I love AJ Barner, but when I get like Kittle, I want to get a really solid option as my second, just in case he starts out pretty slow, which I personally still think he will.
It's not the safest bet, that's for sure. And like Juwan Johnson is just one of those like money in the bank target bets. And it looks like the tight end position kind of came off at a premium. Like Strange went 133, Henry also in the 12th round. So it was either that or like we push it to Schultz, and I see more touchdown upside for Juwan Johnson. So I like that call. Structurally, I think that's a good play because it's such a
He
flat
was great
tier
last
otherwise.
year.
Oh yeah, he's been really consistent. Unless he's hurt, he's really good. Your boy
Running back,
in a line with this team?
probably.
Running
Could
back,
just take like Algier and be boring.
6 seconds.
You know what? Let's go Tesla. Let's get the Lions player.
At least one, right?
We need a receiver. We got sniped on St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe worst case scenario. And Tesla, I'm not even saying the words, but Tesla is a dude this year.
Can I say it for you, or is
No,
this
you
just
keep your mouth
blasphemy
shut.
to even?
You keep your mouth shut.
The contingent upside is just like Tank Bigsby. I'll say that it's as high as Tank
Yes.
Bigsby.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I won't jinx it. I won't jinx it. But I've ignored the chat just for the sake of draft one, just to really lock in. But aloha, Jeff. Aloha, everyone. I've noticed everyone's comments, but just wanted to lock in with Jeary. We're in the last 4 rounds though, so it's starting to get to the point where like, is it earlier than this where you just throw out ADP, or are you still kind of like, ooh, what's the best value, or like what, you know?
It kind of just depends on the draft, really.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
I usually always keep ADP in mind, at least a little bit. But with my last 3 picks in particular, I don't really care. Sometimes I'll take 3 round 18 guys.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, are there any names that have been starting to like pop up to you as like targets this late?
It's tough, man. Like you can make a case for a lot of guys this year, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been getting sharp.
I think with this next pick, if Dylan Sampson's there, that would be a smash as our 5th and then being done. Because all the other running backs feel like purely contingent handcuffs. Dylan Sampson at least gives you a little bit of floor.
Yeah, the receptions pad the numbers a little bit, but it's not going to be 95% Judkins. So yeah, 100%. And Jerome Ford's gone, so I respect it. He's the very obvious like next man up as well. There's no.
Yeah, Samson's easy click right here.
Okay. I will say I don't take much of him, but it took him yesterday with Best Ball Guy on his channel. It feels fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's not like you're spending the premium on like Keaton Mitchell or Woody Marks, but Dylan Sampson versus Woody Marks, I see it as the same bet. If anything, like I think I might prefer the Browns upside if you actually told me Sampson was their only running back versus Woody Marks as their only running back. But I've just been biased against what he marks like all season basically.
I know.
Uh, he's starting to fall. He's like he dropped when they signed Montgomery, and then now I've noticed he is starting to fall a little bit. But
Well, did you hear that report that like him and Monty are splitting first team reps?
I did see that today. Yes, maybe now's the time to start getting back in a little bit. I could always catch up, but
I'm not
I'm
really
st-
reading too much into that though. I think Montgomery's just going to be the dude there.
yeah. I would also not put too much stock into that. Like
Terrence
whatever.
Ferguson.
Okay, we have sweet. Not we had the same bye week with Kittle and Juwan, but T Ferg is week 11, different bye, all set with that. Um,
Yeah, I'm taking my third tight end here in round 16 very often because I don't really like pushing to around 17, 18 anymore. Just the guys that go in rounds like 15 and 16 used to go in round 18, not
mhm.
anymore. So I usually like to just get my guy here and whatever receivers fall back to us, we'll take two and be happy with that.
Yeah, this section of the draft, like the receiver room, doesn't feel like it really helps you. You gotta get lucky. You're hitting on receiver at this point, and it's like especially if it's unstacked or something. But tight ends feel like such a flat, like just random. This week it's this guy. The next week it's that guy. But on the season, they probably give you some similar stat lines that have more touchdown upside than some of these wideouts. So it's always kind of like to keep a tight end option in your back pocket this late is always valuable.
Yeah, and like Terrence Ferguson, sometimes I think back to just my very first initial like feelings and takes on a player. And I really like Terrence Ferguson going into his second year. I was drafting him quite a bit as a rookie, actually.
Same.
And he had a great training camp before he hurt his hamstring. Being talked about over and over again is essentially being the wide receiver three on the Rams. We know how much that they like to use their tight ends in different ways as well. So I like some Terrence Ferguson, high touchdown upside.
Very, very good call. Yeah, I believe I was at like 12% T Ferg last year, and I maybe it was a different team, but I think one of my teams in week 16 had Kittle and T Ferg, and I think T Ferg is the one that hit my lineup actually. Um, he when he does hit, he can give you that 40-yard touchdown. Like no other tight end is really
Yeah.
offering that as like what you expect. Like it could happen randomly. Like Will Disley, I remember I cashed on a 5-pick parlay a few years ago with the Chargers Bengals game, and Disley touchdown was like a times 2.75, and he hit like in the first quarter on like a
Let's go.
40-yard touchdown grab. It was like fuck yes. Tiefer can do that any week where you're not like shocked if it happens.
Yeah, and he was doing that multiple weeks. Like
Yeah,
it was really impressive.
no, they would never give you the 3x multiplier on a Tiefer touchdown type of thing.
Let's see
I
receiver.
I like the pick a lot.
Um,
Oh, this is my ranks. ADP is right here. You want a Raven or
I want Booty.
Booty?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
He
Sean.
he's a guy I just find myself taking that feels like a like why is he a bad pick? Like really, he's gonna get some long touchdowns, I feel like.
I think the only way he's a bad pick is if Kyle Williams really turns into something. That I think that's the problem. And like even Mac Hollins could still like, contribute just as much as him. And then there's the trade situation, but if he does get the trade granted, he's probably better, so
Well,
I
that's the
I
thing.
agree.
Could just be a trade deadline type of guy too.
Yeah. The only argument I can think of is Kyle Williams.
Yeah, Kyle Williams, Mac Hollins, but they do spread the ball around a lot in New England, and they're
Mhm.
just a good offense, right? And for someone who showed good chemistry with Drake May, since Drake May was a rookie, like it doesn't feel like a bad click round 17, 18.
Yeah, what's the difference between him and Trey Harris if not like we've actually seen him score touchdowns and like be good down the field? Like yeah, very fair wise call there. Like I think part of it I'll shut up. I'll let you make this pick and then we'll get I'll make the last
Let's
point.
take Bateman.
Rashad?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you kind of mixing and matching, or do you have a more of a lean towards Rashad?
I'm just kind of taking like one of these Baltimore Ravens guys when I have Lamar late, like Bateman, Surratt. I was taking Lane a lot early, but haven't really heard much on him, so I've cooled off a bit. But it just feels fine if he hits. Like if Rashad Bateman from 2 years ago, then round 18 is an absolute smash. And if we're betting on
Yeah.
Lamar having a big bounce back year, then I mean, it feels pretty great. Booty, Rashad Bateman, these guys can just get us 18 points a couple times a year and really pay off their ADP.
Yeah, that Ravens passing game, especially with the departure of Isaiah Likely, like I don't trust Andrews to step up in terms of like explosive plays in any way, shape, or form. So like he might be a problem in the red zone, but like who is the true number two receiver for? He's been such a better passer the last couple. Like, didn't he throw for 41 touchdowns 2 years ago? He has been moving off the run game slowly but surely. And if I had to guess, every single year, that's just going to be pivoting further towards his passing game. So I like the call. I don't have a stance on which one is the guy. So I've mostly just been like pivoting from one to the other. And mostly it's Surratt for me, but I'm not opposed to taking Bateman either. So I like it. Let's pull up the full roster. We'll do. You can lead the recap. Take it away.
Yeah, I like how his team turned out. We got a 2-5-8-3. Quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy. Nice. Running backs, Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Chuba Hubbard, Chris Rodriguez, and Dylan Sampson. I mean, it's very fragile, I will say. Like, pretty much all of our players could be absolute busts.
So
Like, we can
it's
make a
funny.
case for them being all absolute trash or
Right.
all, like, borderline league winners. So it's very fragile in that sense, but for a best ball team, it's kinda how I wanna build it.
Major variance, and like this is gross, but if I'm wrong and I have none, then it will be valuable. So I respect it.
Yeah, it's pretty much how I feel about that too. And then we got 8 receivers: Zay Flowers, Tet McMillan, Parker Washington, stud, Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs, Isaac Tesla, Kayshon Boutte, and Rashad Bateman for a little Ravens sandwich at receiver. I like it. We got a good mix of like young guys, old heads, and spike week potential. So
Yeah.
feels solid. Solid 8. George Kittle, Juwan Johnson, Terrence Ferguson at tight end. I don't take a lot of Kittle. Kind of scares me a little bit. But hey, we're shooting for the moon for this 200K right here.
It's worth the upside. Like the shot is totally worth it. Like I said, he closed in the third round last year. So if you're telling me he's healthy for week one, you got to project for like the true ceiling. It's definitely worth round 10. So stacked up makes total sense. And for the sake of exposures, didn't have much Achan going into this, didn't have much Chuba going into this, didn't have much Sampson going into this, or Tet, or no, I had a decent amount of Parker Washington, maybe not the most, but I've been low on Booty since pre-draft, and I think that's the main reason why people don't draft him. Remember where he fucking went in February, March, and April? Like
Pick 100. He
fucking
opened at pick
insane.
100.
So people got their bags, the guys that like believed in him back then, and then slowly like the casuals came in and forgotten about him. And because he's been undrafted slowly, it's like, well, if I had 16% booty at 125, why the fuck am I burying myself deeper? But now that he's going undrafted, it's totally logical. I like the team. We got some true upside, some good floor plays, and like you said, a big mix and match of like veterans, young guys, and then high variance. But like if the ceiling hits at the right time and they just stay healthy, then yeah, we probably advance. Every
Yeah,
room
this
is
is
complete.
it feels like a first place or last place type of team.
Yeah, if you told me Purdy and Lamar both missed like 6 weeks each, wouldn't shock me
Dead.
at all. And that alone could just be why we don't advance. But still, we're shooting for first. It's Ricky Bobby season. I like
Also,
it.
there was a Charlie Kolar sighting in this draft.
Oh, there was the Kolar Bear.
4 tight ends.
Wow, yeah. Even Oscar Delp went in this one.
Yeah, tight ends. I don't know what was going on in this room.
Some people just have their convictions. Maybe he's using the sidekick. Maybe the math told him it was the move. We have one member in this lobby. We got Super Beast in the house. So with only one, I think we have time for a quick team review. I'll lead it and get your thoughts at the end. We got Keith with Super Beast. Keith, the big shooter, right next to us. Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, and Aaron Rodgers. Pretty chill. Maybe not like the highest on Jones, but past ADP, it's probably stacked up. So overall, I think that's fine. Taylor, Javante, Rico, Bigsby, my boy, and then Emmett Johnson. He did snipe us on Bigsby. We got Tesla instead. AJ Brown, though, Terry McLaurin, Christian Watson, Cortland Sutton, Wanda Robinson, Jalen Coker, Bryant, and Franklin. So kind of a mega commitment on everyone
Broncos.
in Denver, but Waddle, basically. And then Warren Goddard. It's pretty strong. I mean, there's maybe a reason to fade Javante for injury purposes, but overall, like I got no issues with the team. And then the mega Bo Nix stack, it all tracks. It's a good team.
Yeah, it feels fine. Going in on the Denver, New England. Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, it should be a fun game. The Sean Payton and Bo Nix revenge game that we were robbed of last year should be a fun one. All right, we got a little bit over an hour and 15 minutes, and we're trying to get in 3 drafts tonight. So we're gonna hop into the Fast Puppy. I'm on a bit of a time crunch, so apologies to everyone. I am just hopping in with that countdown. If you get in, you make it. It is what it is. 10 spots, you have a chance.
I don't know, man. I don't really know how necessary countdowns are. Like for most drafts, look, when I did the eliminator, what's the point, man? They don't fill anyways.
We get pick 2.
Oh, let's go.
Are you taking the Sun God at pick 2?
No. You could convince me on Jamar Chase though over Bijan.
Yeah, you gonna go Bengal? You want me to bring Leia in? Go full Bengal?
Dude, I'm down if you're down. For the cat energy today.
I have been really talking myself more into Bijan lately as like I'm
totally fine with Bijan. Like structurally getting the running back here with who's there at the 2-3 turn, like feels pretty good when I get Bijan.
Yeah. I think because of how the board goes, I don't think I'm gonna let you take Jamar. Just because I'm looking at my teams. I don't have much pick 3, but I have less pick 2 by like a significant margin than pick 1. So I'd like to even out my Bijan.
Yeah, dude, no problem. I took a Jamar Chase over Bijan a couple times just to smooth out my exposures because I had like 2 or 3% Jamar Chase at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't want that little where I had like 10% Bijan and 26% Gibbs or something. So I wanted a little more Jamar Chase, but now it's a little more evened out. So I just kind of go with ADP for the most part.
We got Jace Durand in at the 101. I recognize Burgess in here. Austin took Amon-Ra at pick 5. McNix is in here. JT Alford at pick 7. Kenny the Jet at 108. And then otherwise, Gohorns is also in here. I don't know if I recognize anyone else. If so, let us know in the chat. But good luck, everyone. Thanks for popping.
Something tells me we would be pretty good friends with Poker Toker, though.
Probably. Yo, Keith, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate the donation as always, and you draft some bangers. Thanks for being a member. If anything, this deserves a rip. Do you have any weed on you, or is it just me?
I can't smoke in my apartment.
Okay, that's fine. When you smoke, where do you go?
It's just outside, downstairs, around the corner.
Okay, well, this is only 7-second drop, so I unless you're the quickster, I can't imagine you get back in time. I'll see you in a few seconds. I don't have my lighter. but it's not here. It's not here. It's always here. It's always fucking here.
Yo, Pepper Tony, hit him with it. Hit him with the friggin' stoners. Can't find the lighter.
Yeah. I got to like 5 seconds in. I was like, oh shit. I don't have a chance on that. Yeah, I thought I had
it. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
There we go. Are you a Bic guy?
Yeah.
Okay, respect.
Out of shame, now I just have to do it the regular way.
Just in time to make our pick. We're on the
It's
clock. Man, Drake London Bijan would have been fun.
yeah.
Um,
We have Nico, we have
let's
Love,
take
we have
Love.
okay. He's another guy I'm a little bit low on, but like the argument is there with the playoff schedule. Like if you can advance him, you probably get a huge, huge asset there. And with Bijan, it's like, well, you should be able to make it work, right?
Well, that's why I'm kind of in on Love, just for the playoff schedule. And I think it's going to be hard to advance. So getting him on a Bijan Gibbs team, I think feels pretty strong. And taking him in the second, I like the group of receivers. Like Smith is still there. I would love to take Smith.
Sure, we got him.
And so just taking Love in the second and seeing what receiver comes back. If you don't get like a Drake London or AJ Brown, I'll push through on the turn. And that playoff schedule for Jeremiah Love is so nice. Plus, if they're starting Carson Beck, you better believe they're going to lean on the run game even more. So I'm pretty bullish on Jeremiah Love for the playoffs, even though I think it's going to be hard to advance him.
Yeah, the mindset of the new regime is like couldn't tell you more obviously that they want to run the ball and that there will be an offensive shift from what they did last year. Like they had 2 weeks of James Conner. Trey Benson went down in week 3. Imari DiMercado fumbled in the end zone, and then they just rode Michael Carter the rest of the way because they had no fucking other option. So like that's why they threw the ball 45 times. That's why McBride and Michael Wilson hit. But not only do they still have Connor, but then they signed Algier and then spent 3rd overall pick capital. So like it's a completely new regime. It's the McVay system. He runs the ball with Todd Gurley level upside. So yeah, it's just the O line maybe isn't the best, but like the talent's there. I just worry that it's more of a committee than you would hope, and then like Achan, maybe touchdowns aren't hitting often enough, but the talent's undeniable.
Yeah, and I've heard people say like, "Oh, he's going to get a soft phantom injury at the end of the year, so they don't have to play him and they can keep him healthy." But like, I think GMs want to be proven right, and they want to like showcase their number 3 overall pick. And I feel like there's going to be chatter with people saying that, "Oh, maybe he was a reach, and this guy's a bust, and he's not playing well, not worth it." Like they're going to want to prove themselves right, I feel like, and give him more opportunities down the stretch, especially if Carson Beck is their quarterback.
The quarterback situation could be fun. Even if it's Minshew, I feel like there could still be some upside. Like they're gonna have to sling it eventually when they're trailing. So it's just gross. Like it's just so disgusting. But I've been talking myself into this concept of like one of the reasons why I feel like maybe the Chargers are such a good value is because they're slept on in terms of like respect in the league, but like at least in fantasy, not the same way. But there's just not as many like people hyped on it as like the Chiefs, for instance, or the Niners, or even the Rams. I'll come back to it, but who would you like here?
This is tough. Like, let's go Terry. Let's be simple.
Okay, 3-pick slide, nothing wrong with that, and opens up Jaden Daniels.
Exactly. Get a little divisional correlation too. And it just opens us up to getting more quarterbacks at that turn, whether it be Hurts or Daniels or even both if we want.
Yeah, definitely. That's maybe a lesser owned combo than like Caleb and Hurts, or that's you never know. But if Daniels falls there, it's definitely worth clicking. We're back on the clock though.
Yeah, Burden. We're just getting the
Yeah.
fall getting unique.
Okay. Seems like
Play it
now
simple.
I've consistently started to see him in the 5th. It seems like he's finally starting to trickle down the board.
Have you? I haven't seen him there as much. Probably should fall a little bit. I think he should go in the 5th over the 4th. I have not drafted him a lot. He's one guy could make or break your season this year for sure.
He's got the upside, but it's still very unproven. He had 3 games with negative yards last season.
That's pretty wild.
It like less points than me, So he should take the leap. I kind of just want to trust Ben Johnson when he says like buy Luther Burden stock, but at the same time, it's like, what if this is one of the Keenan Allen landing spots and you just get nuked in the way that like I'm
I don't
worried
see
about Josh
that.
Daniels? It's probably not going to happen, but it's not a 0% chance.
Maybe. Yeah. When I think about Detroit though, like Ben Johnson never really cared that much about the third receiver. We had St. Brown, we had JMO. Like that's good. You know, we had kind of pretty much bums for our third guy for the most part, or like role players, someone who did like the blocking stuff, like a Tim Patrick type of player. But as far as like someone to be featured and get targets as a third, I don't really see it. I feel like they're going to lean in more to the run game with their Mananga and Swift.
He doesn't fit the mold of the Ben Johnson system. So to that regard, I agree. He also like that's the same reason why I don't think he goes to the Chargers. He doesn't fit the mold of Mike McDaniel either. And he kind of just like clogs up some of your target shares and like, there's very specific routes you kind of run with him. Like if you're in 3rd and 6, he's perfect, but how often are you designing plays for him on 1st and 10, let alone, 2nd and 2? Like he's definitely not the best fit in Chicago, but I wouldn't totally rule it out. It would be hilarious for everyone who slapped up Burden though, if he goes there and craters it. I kind of just want to see it just to laugh. But
I have more Rome than I do Burden. I have more Loveland than I probably do both of them combined.
yeah, he's definitely the
Daniels
fade.
goes bummer.
It would have been a little surprising if he was there at 71, but it has happened. Where would you
Do it.
I'm not even
Click the button. Let's go.
Okay.
2 for 2, baby.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why no one is pulling him up the board, Jeary.
They're scared, man. They're scared.
It's just I feel like you're taking him at his ceiling, man. Like how much
Probably.
higher than this could he really pay off?
It depends if like someone gets injured or not, but just looking at like the range of guys, like I figure we could get the quarterback on the way back. Like we get Hurts, stack him up with Smith. That's pretty easy. I know you probably like QJ more, but
If I intend to take Herbert at this point, that's kind of the only reason I'm taking QJ at this price. I have so many bags that are packed when he was much, much cheaper. So at this point, I'll do it on occasion. I did it last night with Eric, best ball guy. I took Herbert over Daniels in the 3rd draft. So, once you do that, you kind of set the wheels are in motion where that's the necessary pick. But in general, I'm not doing anywhere near as much. But he's still fine at this price. I think it's okay. It's not the best situation, but it's okay.
yeah, it'll be really interesting. I'm so curious to see how the Jags receiver room plays out and just the skill position players in general. Like Parker Washington, I just think he's good at football. I just think he's a guy. And honestly, I like taking the guys that are the first in the building and putting in the extra hours and work and who are like friends with their quarterback. I think that stuff actually does matter. And yeah, I like betting on those guys.
Well, if he didn't have those, I don't think he would be on, I don't think he'd be around 6 if he didn't also do that. So, kudos to him. Respect the work ethic, respect the underdog mentality. Like, that's impressive to be in his situation and have like the talent around him and all of the like cards pointing in somebody else's favor. Like, against all odds, Parker Washington just keeps persisting. So it's like a weed that just won't die. At some point, just let the dandelion bloom, stop plucking.
Yeah, like he's going into his 4th year, but he's like 24 years old.
Yeah, it is pretty young. That is definitely a factor. So I'm getting my Parker Washington shares today. It's about time.
I get my Brian Thomas shares when you come on, so it works out. It evens out.
I'll be back soon. What would you like here? We're in round 8.
We could take it simple. Just take one of the running backs, like Blake Corum, Kyle Monangai.
I think I'd rather go Monangai than
Um,
Corum, but
okay,
your
let's do it.
choice. We got
Yeah, we
Burden,
have a little
so
Luther Burden.
yeah. Also, like he's the cheapest bear where you know what you're getting, so might as well take it sometimes. And then if Swift goes down, we got a top 10 play. What would you like in the ninth round?
It's either like Michael Pittman, Worthy, or Pitts.
I'm fine
I
with
like
Pitts.
Michael Pittman a lot, but pulling up Pitts, man, we have Bijan. It's kind of fun.
I'm down. Yeah, with Bijan, definitely. There's a pick I'm gonna try and sell you on later. And at first, it might sound insane, but I have an argument. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'll bring it in later, and we don't
Okay.
have to take him. But I want to get your opinion on it because it's been brewing the last few days, and last night I felt like I definitely like cemented like I believe it will happen. So we'll get to that later. But the double Atlanta, they should have such a consolidated offense. Like these guys probably crush at ADP, right?
Yeah, like I think Kyle Pitts is pretty underpriced. He's one of my higher drafted tight ends. I have more of him than Laporta. I actually think he's gonna have a better season than Laporta, as much as I love him. Um,
Interesting.
I like Pitts over Fannin, over Kittle pretty easily. Would it surprise me if he does better than Kraft too? Just honestly, as far as like target competition and the offense, it
It's in
wouldn't
the
surprise
cards.
me.
It's absolutely a possibility. I mean, the 40-point game, if anyone was still doubting it, the fuck else are you holding on to? So any given week, he can just be the guy you need. And then you just go back to the rookie season, 1,000 receiving yards. It's been proven. Every year he gets one more touchdown. So I believe last year was 5. This year it's going to be 6. So you know, it's all about yards. But he's clearly the only other target other than London and Bijan right now. So how many targets would you project for Kyle Pitts in the Stefanski system? Also, the Stefanski upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know off the top of my head. Trying to
Here,
project the amount of targets over the year.
if last year he had 118, is like 140 possible, or maybe like
Why not?
125, 130? I think
Like,
it's
why not?
possible.
When like Tua is your quarterback, he's not running the ball. Like, they're probably going to be behind in games for the most part. Kevin Stefanski likes using his tight ends. Um, yeah, like why not really? And why not take Jacoby Myers right here?
At 119, yeah, I don't see why not either. You mentioned the contingent upside on P Wash. Well, if either Myers gets traded or like BTJ goes down, then that also applies to Myers. So he's been falling like a rock lately, man. Like nobody really
He
wants him.
has, yeah.
But
Um, this is gross.
we could get the bring back Tyler Shuck against the Falcons. But Love has
Yeah,
fallen. Baker's
yeah, we're
there.
probably gonna need just a quarterback. Sure, I think we could just take Shuck if we want. It
I
makes
mean,
sense.
for the fallen value, you want to just get different, get Love, like
Love just doesn't really have any back stacks.
Savion.
Shuck at least has rushing upside.
Savion.
If I'm, oh gosh, I can
He's
hear
a
Who
third round
Hames
pick.
typing right now.
Shout out Who Hames for reminding me the Savion is a third round pick. But no, I get it. I get it. Unstacked, it's not as fun.
The falling Goff would have been nice if we had a Lions player, but
Yeah,
unstacked, I'd rather have a Tyler Shuck, and we can get some Saints later as well. Yeah, that range is tough because if Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt's there, I actually quite like him. I know you're a big Katron guy, but I'm in on JCM this year.
I think in the same vein of maybe bumping up some of my Chuba Hubbard shares just in case I was not accurate. Uh, I've been willing to just accept that JCM is not falling past the 11th round. I think he should. I really believe he's not worth that price, but a positive camp report or just something really, really bearish on Rashad White or Katron, like, the Bill pandemonium last year, the Bill sanity is real. And we've seen him go like fucking 100 plus picks rising value in like what a 2-week span last season. So there is a world where like all of a sudden I look down, it's like, oh shit, I have 2.5% JCM, and now he's just going next to Jalen Warren, and I'm fucked. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think there's definitely going to be some risers and fallers in this like round like 10, 9, 11 area. I think Jordan Mason could also be one of those guys if he gets more buzz, or he could be going where Ramondre and Jalen Warren are. You know, if he's just being talked about as being the guy there, it's where he was going last year.
yeah, definitely possible. Mason, the bet against Aaron Jones feels so strong, and like, while maybe Mason can't catch passes, do I really trust him on Claiborne? Like, it's interesting. Claiborne has some speed, but like, I've seen Mason also carry like a 23 touch workload in the Niner system before. Like, if push comes to shove and they don't have any faith in Claiborne, we might just see, workhorse Jordan Mason again. And that was a top 10 play in the Niners system that season. He was a league winner, or at least he helped you get there. He wasn't healthy down the stretch, but he was so important when he was the Niners guy 2 years ago.
Yeah, and he had good games last year when he was the Vikings guy without Aaron Jones.
I think he had a couple. He didn't have many, but JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz, it's not really his fault. Yo,
Ooh.
I mean, I haven't seen him this late since fucking March. Is it Insta?
Yeah, of course.
I wonder
That's
why.
I haven't seen that guy there in so long. Kelsey at
Yeah,
143.
that's shocking. What did the Mahomes drafter do? He had Worthy, he had Ken Walker, he took Tyrone Tracy and Cam Ward.
Yeah, interesting.
I guess he knows something. But all right, sure. Pitts and Kelsey 22 spots. Yo, always good luck when you're here. What else would you
This
like?
is this is tough. This is gross,
Yeah,
man.
not
I
fun.
don't feel any type of way.
You want to pull up Tank
Um,
Bigsby?
sure. Honestly, I really don't care. Let's just take a running back. He's not
Let's
coming back anymore.
let's do it. We have Eagles. We have Hurts. It's
Yeah, we have a
already
lot of week 10 and week 7 buys. So we'll might have to think about that for the rest of this draft. But honestly, when looking at those guys, like, do we need a tight end right there?
with
The
Kelsey.
guys that I
No,
like the most are Strange and Chig, and both of those guys just have more week 7 buys. We don't have either of their quarterbacks either, and we already have a lot of Jags and Commanders. So yeah, who cares? We were talking about throwing ADP out the window and just getting our guys. So I know you like Tank. I like Tank. We have Hurts. Let's pull him up, man.
back to back with Keaton Mitchell, where he should go, where they both should go. This is like, I think they're both mid 140s, 13th rounders. This I think is really appropriate to like the best case scenario as paired with the risk of like when they don't hit that. Bigsby versus Keaton Mitchell, could easily see Bigsby have a far more uh, bigger contribution than Keaton Mitchell. So I don't mind it.
I
We got the
agree,
long
man.
term. So
Like we were drafting guys like Ray Davis and Tyler Algier as handcuffs in the 140s last year.
yeah, well, I mean, if you told me Saquon and Kyron both go down, what's the difference between Blake Corum and Tank Bigsby? Like maybe two
If they
spots in
both
your
go down,
rankings.
like no, I don't know. I might even take Bigsby over him. Um,
There we go.
but as far as like actual just week to week basis, no contingent value, Blake Corum, of course, is a better pick. But
Yeah,
how is Jonah Coleman getting drafted over Tank Bigsby? I don't get it. You're talking about a day 3 draft pick who's the RB3 on their team, and then people's bull case for Jonah Coleman is, oh, J.K. Dobbins gets hurt. So you're taking him as a handcuff above guys who are like direct RB2, also proven in the league handcuffs in like Tank Bigsby and even Brian Robinson and guys like that. I don't get it.
no, it's pretty ridiculous. Like now he's competing with RJ Harvey. He's still 15 picks more valuable than Bigsby. Yeah, it's just it's like the Chuba Hubbard price. It's the conviction about the argument that the other guy is getting hurt that just makes people like dismiss the worry and be like, oh well, it's just a lock that I'm getting starting weeks out of this guy because I just automatically know that the other guy won't play. But He
Yeah,
went
Harvey
so
just
high in the
makes even
pre-draft.
less sense to me. Just because like he's an unproven rookie and he's the RB3, not even the RB2.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. Um, very good point. Here though, we're getting back to gross territory. We're on the clock. Flournoy makes it back. Um,
Debo.
okay,
I like Debo.
okay. Well, now I'm gonna try and sell you on the player. I hyped it up. We might not need a receiver here, but Jerry Judy had the best year of his career with Tua at Alabama. The Falcons need a receiver too. Stefanski already traded for him. What the fuck do the Browns need to see in Jerry Judy? Jerry Judy, the Falcons. I see it happening. You want to go Judy and then take two in the last round?
Yeah, sure. I don't hate Judy. I would
Here's the
say
thing.
like if we had a Gibbs team, if we had Gibbs, I'd probably say let's take Brian Robinson. But when we have Bijan, I'm not really interested in Brian Robinson. Like
Yeah,
I like Judy, man. I'm overweight on him.
I mean, it also a little Jerry Judy. I'm starting to really believe it. Like he's 28 years old, especially like the Falcons have the perfect spot for him. It's just kind of like, will the Browns actually be willing to like give him to Stefanski again, or is that bridge so burned that like they will not allow that to happen? But like the Browns are going to Brown, so maybe they just don't give a shit, don't test the market. But like if you get a 5th round pick for Jerry Judy, why would you not take that?
Yeah, I definitely think he has outs being traded. And I just looked at my exposure out of curiosity, and I'm actually a little underweight. I'm at 7.7%. But I know I've taken him in some higher buy-in tournaments, so evens out a little bit there.
I had like 2% of him a week ago. So I've been, now that I'm like sold on it, I was
Ah,
like, maybe it's Ridley, maybe it's Judy. I'm not sure. And then the more I think about it, it's like, well, the younger guy with a much cheaper contract that's already like in a weird spot, that feels like the more coveted trade option. Maybe Kayshawn Booty is the guy that gets traded, but I could see Judy easily move before anyone else if there is a trade that'll happen. But yo, what's up, Bayou? Thanks for popping in, brother.
yeah, I don't know what his contract is like or if it's been reworked at all. But if
He,
we get some reports that it's being reworked, I mean they're saying they're not trading Miles Garrett, and then they're quietly doing some stuff behind the scenes. So
Well, the Concepcion and the Boston draft picks are pretty indicative. Like they don't trust Judy there, so at some point he's going to come off the field. But he will be relevant week one. Like those rookies probably start off a little bumpy. At least one of them is probably not overtaking him, if not both. And then if they do want to trade him, maybe they even spotlight him, just to build up the hype a little bit. I could see him play really well week one and then kind of fizzle out. And then like week five, like somebody's interested and then they either like sit him. They probably don't sit him, but like they send him a bunch of targets again to then ship him. But he also just might stay there and suck. That's also possible.
yeah, a lot of ranges of outcomes. I have a hard time taking Concepcion and Denzel Boston because I can get Jerry Judy a few rounds cheaper.
We're back on the clock.
Ooh,
Running back,
probably want a running back first. It's either
Katron,
it's either Blue or Davis for me, not Katron on this team.
Blue or Davis. You said Blue first.
Yeah, let's go Blue.
Okay. The Javante injury bet is still pretty valid. Like last year it didn't work out, but like just because people were so wrong about Blue doesn't mean that like betting against Javante isn't like the worst play. So that's I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I don't love it, but I'm okay
I,
with
I
it.
would I would take Ray Davis as well or Kalen Black if you want to. If we're getting our guys, if you want to pull up Kalen Black,
Yeah,
that's a little week 17 too. San Francisco,
there we
Philly.
go.
So hey, we took CMC. Maybe CMC is not the guy. Maybe it's our boy Kalen Black.
Yeah, I mean, if he actually gets the starting job, that's definitely going to help us advance Jeremiah Love into the playoffs. Like if we get just 5 games where Black is the starter, weeks like 7 through 12, that could be all we need just to get through. I don't mind it, and also like most people take Jordan James, so if that's your guy, I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, people are going really back and forth on Kalen Black and Jordan James. I know Jordan James, he's going into his second year. He's being talked about, um, the coach, they like guys in their second year, not rookies. But Kalen Black's still 2.5 years older than him. Like he's like a 24-year-old prospect. I'm sure that's a lot more trustworthy as well than someone who didn't get any touches in the regular season on offense.
He
And
also
if he can
played
improve his passing game, then I think it'll help a lot.
the fact that he played on a national championship roster last year. I think like that's gonna elevate his like maturity. You know, like to be part of that caliber system that goes not just winning the whole thing, but undefeated, and like you're their lead back. Like that is pretty valuable in terms of experience. So on one hand, the age sometimes detracts for like running back prospects, but I think with NIL, it's like slightly a different equation these days. And so maybe having 1 year in the system to learn it is the advantage, but it's also possible Kalen Black's just more ready day one. So I I also could just see like I remember the year where Mason filled in for CMC and then went down, and you still needed Garendo down the stretch. Like it's the Shanahan backfield, which is just like cursed with injuries. Even the fourth stringer could get on the field. You really never know. So it's totally valid. Tua did go, whether you wanted him or not. It wasn't really the most necessary thing, but it would have worked. We could go Penix though, if you really want.
I know who we're gonna take. Um, we'll wait till this guy makes his pick first.
What position?
We'll take Vele.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well get a stack with Shuck. I really don't mind him as a round 18 click. I kind of only like taking him with Shuck, and I think I'm fine with our two quarterbacks. I'm fine with our two tight ends, and getting stronger, especially with the bye weeks that we have at receiver. I think it feels pretty good there.
Yeah, we do have a lot of week sevens, several week tens. Then who knows? Maybe Debo falls into one of those as well. Um, he did have like a 19-point game last year, so he's shown he can do it. The Tyson additions, obviously not the most compelling uh, scenario, but Bryce Lance probably doesn't overtake him immediately, so I think he is their number three, and it probably mixes in from time to time. So the bring back the stack. We didn't have anyone with Shuck, so totally valid. You wanna recap this team for us?
Yeah, we went with a little 2-6-8-2. Kind of threw some ADP out the window at some spots. Would have been nice maybe if we got a couple different guys to fall to us, but I still think it's a pretty decent team overall. We got Jalen Hurts, Tyler Shuck at quarterback, 6 running backs: Bijan, Jeremiah Love, Kyle Monangai, Tank Bigsby, Jaden Blue, Kalen Black. I know people, if they start Bijan Love, like start with 2 running backs, they're probably not taking 6, but I kind of like playing Love as if he's going to be tough to advance. And the last 3 running backs we got are all pretty late, mainly just handcuffs. But hey, if one of those hit, then could just be enough.
Yeah, valid.
Receivers, we got Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Debo Samuel, Jeary Judy, and Devon Vele. Couple nice fallers too. Got some Jacksonville players to fall to us. Terry and Burden both falling as well. Makes it a very unique receiver room. And then Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce at tight end. I've never seen Kelce fall this far since like pre-draft. So I'll definitely take that. Very happy with it. Something about me and Blunt drafting together, we just get some nice fallers sometimes. So we take advantage, man. This team
Yeah.
fucks.
Well, I remember I was like, well, in February I saw Kelsey at 160, and I was like, well, he's playing, and I never am gonna want to take him when he's like properly priced. So let me just hammer this. And then even when it moved up into like the 130s, I was still like, it's still gonna be more expensive. So I'm still down. So 143 is pretty ludicrous. That's all we need. A team like that just gets different with this type of value, and then maybe Judy goes to a different team or something. We did get sniped on Tua. Someone said that's fucking crazy. But like, do you
I didn't want
did you
to
feel like
anyways.
no? I was gonna say, did you
I would
even
rather
care?
just I would rather take the receiver 8 when we have Hurts and Shuck, because we got a lot of week 17 matchups as well. And if you're talking about week 17, Tyler Shuck, Tua, they're playing the same game. so you kind of lose a little EV that way. But we got like some Philly, San Fran, we got some Saints, Falcons, got some Washington, Jacksonville,
Hmm.
some very nice games. So I like that too.
Yeah, no, this team has a lot of good correlation to it, and you know, I'm totally fine with it. Like that range is so flat. It's like really just pick your poison because the guys I like above him are still gonna be there like in the next round. So it doesn't really affect anything. Yeah, team got some true upside. That Devonte Smith bet is kind of the crux of it, but totally legit.
I
And
like Smith, man. I think he's really good at football.
I mean, he won the Heisman, right? Like the
Yeah,
man
dude. Like
can
he's been a
fucking kill it.
stud even with AJ Brown there. So I mean, if Jalen Hurts can get it together and they can, have a consistent offense and he can learn to throw the ball over the middle of the field a little bit sometimes too, then wheels up for Devonta Smith.
Well, we've even drafted him here when AJ Brown was still on the team. Like
Yeah.
this isn't a price that's unfamiliar to him. So maybe the position is a little bit less devalued this year, but it's not like he wasn't going in the early second a few years ago. So it's reasonable, and the obvious like argument of like, well, AJ Brown's gone, so it's gonna hit. When AJ Brown was there, he can give you 99 yards and a touchdown pretty consistently. So it's worth mixing in. I kind of like him a little bit more towards the back end of the third, but there's really not that much of a difference. Like if anything, it's like half a point per game between those options. So yeah, very negligible difference. I like it, especially with Hertz. It makes even more sense. So fun team. I thought maybe if we did get a tight end faller, it would have been Goddard, but Kelsey makes this team really unique. Love it. There might be a couple team reviews in here, but I think we have maybe like a few minutes to check them out. Burgess is a member. Otherwise, there's Gohorns, and then maybe Kenny the Jet. If you're in this lobby and you are a member, let me know. We're going to do them quickly, but I have enough time to check them out. And then we will enter a Badge Bros Brawl, which is only like 108 picks, 30-second clocks. I don't know if you've ever played in the 6-person contest, but should be fun regardless. And also, I'll show you the team I told you about at the top. We'll take a look. So some context on like what won last year and maybe help out the strategy a little bit. So here's Burgess's team. Drake May, Bo Nixon, Jordan Love. Love at 125. He does have Tucker Craft. Ain't no problem with that. That's an elite quarterback room. Scatterbo, your boy, Jeary. Quinshawn, Jordan Mason, and Kamara. Are you coming around on Scatterbo at all?
Dude, like I've taken him a couple times. It still feels I don't like clicking the button. I think I have 0% in BBM still, and I'll be fine with him there. I've taken him in some puppies. I've taken him in a couple eliminators, but like it does not feel good, man. I'm someone who genuinely listens to like my gut feelings and intuitions, and I do not feel good when I take him.
Well, how much did you like watch him play last year? Like, was he just on a different channel while you were watching Lions games, or like were there ever any instances where like you actually saw the Giants on your screen?
No, I saw him play, and I remember that Philly game. I was actually watching it when I was at work.
Yeah, that
Funny
Thursday
enough.
nighter. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember him going nuts because we're like, wow, the Giants are actually like upsetting the Eagles right now. This is wild. But I don't know. It's just like the way he plays, so reckless. And I don't necessarily think the Giants are going to be that good this year. I think the receiving upside is there, but I think it's game script dependent. He had a lot of like, 2-minute drill, dump offs, little PPR scam type of games. One of the games he had 6 catches was with Russell Wilson. And if you exclude the 2 games he had 6 catches, he's getting like 2 catches a game. Like it's not that special. And if Dart does just run the ball a lot, like don't we kind of just think that Russian quarterbacks don't dump it off so much? Like I think he's gonna get those catches, big catch games and whatnot, but I think it's just a little overrated for my liking.
you're making some valid points. I'll be like, that's a pretty good bear case for why Scadabo is not a good pick. But at least, can I open your mind to the concept of? I think we can both agree Scadabo is not going to age well, right? Like 6 years from now, what type of player are we getting? Not the same guy, right? I think we're probably not in 6 years from now. That's a fair agreement.
I agree.
Well, if he's going to play all 17 games, then it'd probably be earlier in his career. And therefore, if I told you he does not miss a single game this year, Jeary, where would you draft him? Knowing
I don't know. Probably where he's going. Maybe
not any
at the
higher,
back
not
end
above
of the
Javante
third.
at all, not above Travis, not above.
I don't know, man. Javante was like good last year. If you look at Javante's projections for the year, he's like projected to get over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
He also has just as much injury risk as Scatabo, if not more, if you look at his career.
But he actually has proven to have like a full healthy season in the league now. At least he has had like his bounce back year and like proven he can stay healthy the full year. Scadabo's going into his second year. I don't know how healthy he was at Arizona State. I don't watch college football.
Well, he
but
played all the season. He played the entire year at Arizona State. That year they went into the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing. Like someone like him is going to be so tough, and it really will take like a brutal injury like that to make him sit, right? Like where you get your legs snapped in half. You don't really have a choice. Like if he's getting dinged up here and there, I would fully expect him to play. But I don't know, man. If he's just getting like 16 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown here and there, like that doesn't really excite me at that price.
Well, that's not the projection that I have for him. Like I look at those games when he was healthy, and that is much. That's a significant drop off of what he was actually giving. He was averaging like 23 touches per game. 4 of them were catches for like 103 yards per game. And then he had a touchdown every single week, if not a week with 2. So like, I think you are kind of like nuking some of the assumptions on the touches he will get when healthy. And it's like, especially with the neighbors.
Yeah,
like,
he's going to get a lot of touches.
Where else is the ball going to go? Like, what other athlete is like better than him on the field? And like, you know, did you see the clip of John Harbaugh today? And his like basically like, you know, deranged like New York Giant, like repetitive fucking thing. Like, if anyone's gonna buy into that phony ass shit, like, yeah, Scatabo will believe he is indeed, you know, some giant trotting himself out there, you know, against all odds. I just like, see the conviction, man. But you make some valid points. I will say. I will say
he's definitely adopting and taking on like the superstar persona. You know, he's moving around like he's a guy in the league and he's a true like superstar. So that's interesting. But I think it could be like a distraction. The sample size is still just small, man. It's like what, 6 games, 7 games.
But
like
college was so good, man. College was elite. That's where
I don't really have too much of an opinion on that because I'm not familiar, so I can't really speak on that.
If it wasn't for his age and his reckless play style, I don't think he would have been a 4th round pick. Like his college stats vis-a-vis the other guys in the class, like he held up where beyond Genty and Hampton, like him versus Quinshon Judkins, him versus Trayvon Henderson felt like a very valid argument. And if it's not for his like, you know, mentality, I don't think he would have been a 4th round pick. So to each their own. My last question before we move off, if you could decide, if you could just pluck the ADP of Cam Scatabo and drag it down the list, where would you let it go? Where would you drop it if all was fair in where you think he really would go and you would actually take him on a regular basis? Where would that be for you, Jeary?
I think it would have to be like back into the 5th, early 6th round.
Okay, so like Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like in that tier. Like
that's where he used to go in pre-draft.
Yeah, and I was out on him there because we did have less contacts with the injury and stuff. And I will say, like, he's definitely seems to have progressed a lot faster with his injury recovery than I would have expected. So definitely bullish for him. I would really like to see just like clips of him actually doing football stuff in training camp on a football field. Like doing a backflip doesn't mean shit to me. It doesn't, like, at all.
It's a very high risk, low reward thing to do.
Well, it sure shows you like athletic, you know, you can explode off of your ankle, but you know, when are you ever doing a backflip in a football game?
When he scores a touchdown, brother, that's his fucking celebration. He's letting you know he's getting in the end zone. He's
fair, great point.
He needs that skill set, brother. It's very important to his touchdown production. So, I respect the boundaries that you have on Scatabo. It's as an asthmatic, maybe I shouldn't trust him as much as I do. But I will say, Meg and Huhames definitely sold me. And once I saw those stats on like what he was providing,
So
I
can
like
I
to
just say
believe in
one
the
thing?
optimism. Go for it.
So I just pulled up like his game log too, and just to provide some context, like the first game that he had 6 catches was against the Chiefs, Russell Wilson at quarterback. This next game where he played the Chargers, he got 25 carries. That was Jackson Dart's first game. I don't think they're really going to throw the ball with Jackson Dart a ton, and he only had 79 yards on 25 carries. Not great. The next game, like against the Saints, he had 6 catches, and I was curious actually a while ago, and I asked Grok to tell me like at what point in the game he got like his catches. He didn't get his first catch till under 2 minutes in the second quarter, and it was kind of just like garbage time PPR scam from there. And then like 19 carries for 98 yards against Philly. Yeah, that was his outlier game, right? All-star game, 3 touchdowns, absolute stud. 2 catches, 12 yards is whatever. And then against the Denver Broncos, 16 carries for 60 yards, whatever. 3 catches for 34 yards touchdown is quite nice. And then he got injured the next game. So I don't know. It's just not that big of a sample size. And I can poke holes in kind of the games where he really stood out. And when I look at that, they seem like outlier games to me.
Yeah, but it's also a spike week type of game. Like, like the Jeremiah Love upside of any given week is like what I'm interested in. These are the stats, and like, yes, some of them. Here's the thing: his stats don't correlate with when Tyrone Tracy was off the field. Like he got the volume, but when Tracy came back, that's when he blew up. And then even in the game he got hurt, he still had a touchdown and 30 yards on 5 touches at the beginning of the game. So like the man he was a rookie. I think you can give some rookies a slow start benefit of the doubt, but like especially if Neighbors is on pup, like I think you're getting this like 30-point upside any given week, and like those huge games like that can cover a lot of ground when you don't pay off, because like it's like the Trey Tucker 40-pointer. It's like that, even though it's not all the time, that's so valuable in a given week to win the
Yeah,
slate.
I just see like his one real boom game was against Philly, and to me it just feels like a special outlier game. It was on Thursday Night Football, so prime time. Always get a little extra juice for that, and they were a massive, massive underdog, and kind of just surprised the Eagles really took over. And if that really is just if that was the first showing of that's just who they're going to be from now on, and maybe they would have, if Cam Scatterwell was healthy the whole year, maybe that was just like the first of what's to come. Because he looked good against Philly, before he got hurt too. But my gut just says those are outliers and not the median projection.
Fair, Judy. I can take him a bit more than you can, and if anything, I hope that you mix him in a little bit just so you don't get burned in case he stays healthy. But it might be a play that you have no regrets on when it's all said and done. I think there is a world where you do look very wise to have totally avoided it. But no risk it, no biscuit, buddy.
Yeah, 7 shares. I'm looking 7 shares out of 363 teams. That's 1.9%, $33 invested.
But Avi says Scat was so elite in college last season was a fluke play. I'm not sure, but if Scat was in this class, he'd be a Seahawk, says Huhames. He might have gone even higher than that, but probably. I think him versus Jadarian Price, I'd much rather have Scatabo. But we might revisit this another day. We can maybe move on. Oh, shit. We didn't even finish that team review. Here's the thing. I had a time crunch. I apologize to anyone involved, but I actually do have a hard out. And for the sake of the guest, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I'm just locking in with Jeary at the moment. If we had been live at my normal time and time wasn't a factor, then maybe I may not do it. But we went a little long on the scat.
I think people will understand, man. You get like little to no money to do this. You got to have a bit of a life as well.
Yeah. So before we enter the Badge Rose Brawl, our last draft of the day, maybe I just want to brag a little bit, but it's not much to brag about. I made the final in this contest last year. I didn't do shit in the final. I'll show you my roster because this was a bummer, man. I had This is my roster. I had Jaden Daniels, who obviously wasn't active, but Caleb and Goff. Those are my quarterbacks. This is a 6-person league, but I did get some nice fallers. My running back room had Gibbs, Genty, James Cook, Travion Henderson, Swift, and then Ray Davis. I started Swift and Genty in the final week, and Genty my RB2 with 8.3 points. Cook, Gibbs, and Genty didn't do shit for me, bro. Like, of all the names to not deliver, I was fucking crushed. So I finished 310 in this one. Whatever. I still won 250, but my receiver room was also studied. I had Puka, who dropped 13 points, Adams, who was out, JSN had only 11.7, JMO didn't hit my lineup, Pickens only had 9.8. I also had Rome. I also had Debo, who hit the lineup for 10. And then on the team, I had Loveland and George Kittle. So we're going to love our team regardless of what happens. But this is a team that did make the final. And this is the team that won it. This team might fucking shock you, brother. This team took it down by a margin of 8 points as well. So a decent gap between him and first. Drake May, Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson. Running back, only 4 of them. And James Conner's on the roster. Connor, Henry, Achane, and Bijan. A 4 running back build with Connor going down in week 2 won this fucking contest. Is that not like the most baffling fucking thing you could imagine?
Dude, it is wild. And when I see stuff like this, like honestly, it's not uncommon to see like weird, really thin builds like this win contests. And it kind of makes me want to like go even like crazier and thinner sometimes when I'm making builds because yeah, it's not too surprising.
It makes the hit him with the gritty type of strategy that much more appealing. But receiver, other than like JSN in the third, I don't think he spent much on receiver at all. Like he has T. Higgins, Adams, JSN, Tet, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall. In this type of format, like JSN probably was his like first pick, possibly. Like if not, it was T. Higgins, and that was maybe like round 5 or like round 4 in a 6-person draft. That's not early at all. And then his tight end room, he had Kincaid, and then Trey McBride, of course, was the piece he needed. So a 3-4-9-2 won this contest. So keep that in mind. It might not happen again, but like you can get it done with that type of build. I think stud running backs and then a lot of like valuable receivers that can just mix and match, and then maybe a stud tight end, but probably like a full fade to someone that's going undrafted but still has the caliber of Kincaid. That's maybe a strategy to keep in mind. But with that information, let's hop in. It's only a 6-person lobby, so fuck it. I'll give you all a countdown if you guys want to hop in. Entering in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Fewer spots available. So one
Is
spot.
this one 100K up top as well?
It
I
is.
saw that one's. That's a lot for this.
I know there's
Advance rate.
56,000
Okay.
people entering. It's a $10 entry, but 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, and then 375.
So it's essentially half of the puppy.
Pretty much, yeah. That's for twice the cost. Yes.
Yeah, twice the cost, half same. Half the people, twice the cost, same like advance rate structure essentially, and payout structure. So interesting.
Even if we finish top 10, we're still getting over 5K. There's some decent outcomes. We pull the 101. Perfect.
There we go. Hey, we took Bijan in the last draft. I feel like it's only fitting.
We got the Lions on the thumbnail, brother.
Yeah, what time of year are we in again? As far as this
we're in it's July 23rd. It's the first day of Leo season, my friend.
Oh, Leo season. That's a lion, right?
That is.
Good omen, man. St. Brown 101. I'm joking. No, take gifts.
It's such an advantage in this contest to get the 101 or 102. It's such a huge.
Like we talk a lot about the top 5, so like pick 6 fucking sucks, dude.
I mean, you still get a good option, but yeah, no, you feel a disadvantage. You feel like you just have to pull from weird sides of the board and like accept your fate. But like getting that stud clear top 2 pick is such an extra move. Is there a structure you're like inclined to go, or at least for now, just
no, dude? Like I think this is the 3rd year of this contest. 2 years ago, I did some of them. Last year, I don't think I did any. So, yeah, I'm willing to just completely work together and just take best player available, I think is the best strategy, right?
Yeah, take some stances. We got all the running backs here. I would love to double tap, unless you like really
Yeah,
want to get
I
Chase
would
Brown,
love
but
to take Genty. If we wanna just, like, because the running back tier here is so strong
mhm.
that just getting another dude, I think is the move.
Is there one
And who do we wanna take?
you want to go another cat? You want to go with the cat,
Ooh,
the Bengal? Why
I
not?
could be
Like,
down for that. I
here's the
guess,
thing: if
like, I think
sticking with ADP is too chalk in this. Like, just go and get your guy. So for me, it's Hampton. I did one earlier today. I already took him, so I don't mind going
yeah,
like.
I'm cool with Chase Brown. Just, I think I want the guys with the highest ceiling possible, right?
Well, in that case, maybe Derrick Henry was the play, but uh, you know,
Eh,
Chase Brown can still crush with like an 8
healthy
reception
Burrow.
game. Like, it's not a
Also,
bad
week
offense to bet
17
on.
is gonna be really important in this too, right? And it's gonna be even easier to stack up, like, week 17 matchups. I
Mhm.
think, like, the easiest thing in this is just take good players on good teams, simply
Yeah,
put.
very valid. I've been trying to get a little bit more Chase Brown. I used to take him in the third, and then now it's like I'm not taking him over Hampton, or I have him tied with Kenneth Walker, but sometimes he's just not on the board where like that's the top ADP. So I'm totally down. And I also feel like when you're at the turn, it's going to be so common to have a Gibbs Genty team, and then most people are probably sticking to ADP. So Saquon, Hampton are pretty obvious combos. So it might just be a little less likely, but
Bowers is a nice pick in this, I will say.
yes, absolutely. If
If we can
anything,
get McBride on the way back or, like, Loveland, getting, like, one of those truly elite tight ends, I think feels pretty good. We don't
yeah.
really need to take him here, I don't think. I'm willing to always try and push it a bit.
Oh, the
Ooh, double
Crisco's
tap.
double elite. So I would say
I wouldn't
Loveland.
mind taking Loveland with our next pick, depending on who's there. Like, is that bad?
I don't think it's
Is that a
crazy.
huge
Like,
reach?
we're back on the board in 10 picks. Like, you're still gonna get
Who's
some good options.
or,
You
like, do you
want to
wanna
take
just
him?
take Jeremiah Love too? Like, go 4 running backs and stop?
We
'Cause there's,
could,
like,
if unless
let's see
there's a guy.
receivers. Is Nico there? Nico's so good.
Yeah, Nico's still here. You wanna go Nico?
Yeah.
Get
I
our
I
first
actually wouldn't
receiver
even mind 2 receivers because there's a pretty big tier break after. If you
well
wanna go Rice or Smith.
on day one of the contest. Loveland's ADP is 20 picks later, so I'm down pushing it. I like Rashi a lot
Yeah.
here. If you want to go running back, I don't mind it either. But I think getting in at receiver here is valuable. Um,
Yeah, I'm Rice or Smith right here.
I I took Rice earlier today. Let's go Smith.
I
I
think
did one
Smith
of
actually
these.
has a oh, wow, these are 30-second clocks too.
Yeah, the timer is 30 seconds. If you want to talk it out and think
Interesting.
it out, you have the full 30 seconds as well.
Well, I guess because there's only, like, 6 picks, it goes a lot faster, so they want some people to actually be able to think a bit.
Yeah, you especially with like how many different options you can do and like mixing and matching. Like an extra 10 seconds is, if anything, that's probably what the timer should be in the first place. So um, you can really talk about it a little bit extra if you want. But yo, what's up, Candyman? How we doing? Good to see you.
I will say I still wish, like, the clock for, like, $100 plus drafts were 30 seconds.
It'd be nice, yeah. It would be valuable, but they tried it out where you had the option of
Ooh.
one or the other, and I think the people spoke, and I think they just stick with it. But back on the clock.
Missed out on Loveland, that sucks. Like, do we just start thinking about elite quarterback here and Lamar, who's like a difference maker, or do we just get more skill positions?
I
Like, I
think if
really
there's,
don't know.
I think receiver is probably the move. One of these receivers could be great. I like
Let's go
Garrett.
Garrett. Let's go Garrett. And because I want like high spike week, right? Like, do you even
Yeah,
consider neighbors here on a team like this?
I think it's fair because like you're gonna have a bunch of studs anyway. Like it's gonna be much easier
Right?
to
Like,
advance
if he's a
neighbors.
0 for half the year, like, does it even matter?
No, I don't think so. Like, yeah, I don't think it does. If there's one contest to take him, it's probably this one. You want to do
Let's
it?
take neighbors then. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like, when you really think about it, there's a 6-person drafts. If you take a 0 here, like, you could get Ted McMillan with your next pick possibly if he just falls. So, getting a guy who's just, like, yeah, proven single week upside at the end of the year, I think it's a contest to take him in.
Yeah, definitely feels much safer than the other ones. And like, his true value if he's fully healthy is like RB7, if not higher. Like, it's just the injury why we refuse to do it. But it's like the Jeremiah Love click. It's like, well, it's tougher to advance, but now our roster is just so much more studded, so it's that much easier for a round 7 miss not to matter. And then once he does get healthy, it's very much a good pick. So no, yeah, this is the contest for sure to do it.
Yeah, I think so. Kraft already went. If Tyler Warren's there, maybe we consider him with this next pick.
Yeah, I'd be totally down. Interesting that Kraft goes there because I took him earlier in the draft I did with Huhames in that lobby in the 13th round. I took Kraft so fucking late.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically round 7. Like, like it sounds fun, but like by comparison to where he just went, it's crazy.
Yeah, like running backs and receivers, I don't know. Maybe we could take like one of Mike Evans, Jamor Adams, because I think there's a big tier break after.
Here's the thing,
And
Warren's
then
still there.
yeah, let's take Tyler Warren, and then let's take one more receiver as well.
Okay.
And Spike Week, let's go. You want Jamor or you want Adams?
Who's on the thumbnail, brother? Who's on the thumbnail?
There we go. There we go. My boy.
Lion season.
It's fun getting the team stacks in this. I think it's a good idea. Just
definitely.
bet on a team.
Definitely. I had both of these guys on that roster that made the final, so maybe it's just the good luck charm in this one.
I think like trying to play the tiers in this is the way to go. Like if there's one or two guys left in a tier, similar to where we're looking at running backs and where we're looking at receivers, I think getting those guys as opposed to like maybe the first guy of the next tier is a good way to play this.
Yeah, I think there's also an element of like once you get down to like what would be, pick 100 in, your 12 team league, you can really scroll down and like if you have some stances on the double digit round guys, you might as well tack on one, at least one if not two or even three, just to have that different player that nobody else has. You need some scroll. I think if you stick to the chalk in the final 3-4 rounds, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you actually get to advance where you don't have that unique piece. Like he didn't matter to me, but I had Ray Davis on that team where it's like, well, if James Cook goes down, like nobody else is going to have Ray Davis. So we know that has upside. I'm only starting 8 of these 18 players when it's all mattering. Like I can afford 10 zeros in week 17 if the other 8 are the guys I need.
Yeah, and looking at how this is playing out, like I actually don't know if I like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in this very much. When you can get like 3 guys who go in like round 6 normally, like it feels pretty strong. We could double tap quarterback if we want right here. And I think that might be the move.
We could also wait a long time if we wanted.
We could.
We could take your
I kind of want to take
BTJ.
Jaden. I kind of want to take Jaden for sure.
Okay.
Just because I think he has like true quarterback 1 potential. And everything else, man, like, oh, gross. Let's see tight end.
I think it's worth waiting.
Like Kyle Pitts?
I think it's worth waiting on tight end too because we have Warren. We're like, how much do we really need the points? Getting different today, like the ADP, Kincaid is undrafted. Like the ADP is insane.
Oh wow, that's pretty wild.
Like,
yeah,
Ferguson's undrafted. Like,
oh wow, look at those. That's not even in order at all.
We're gonna time out on
yeah,
BTJ.
We can go Brian Thomas. I guess I don't feel great about it.
No, I'd rather bet on Rome in the game stack.
You want to do Rome instead? I'm cool with that.
Either that or
we could take like. Actually, do you want to take Tootin? Tootin has league winning upside.
I got him.
And we could even stop at 4 running backs if we want.
Well, that's the structure that won. So I'm totally down. I think like the teams that will go mega running back early, I think might go overboard and like also take one early. So to wait longer for that 4th, like the guy took James Conner as his 4th. Like it didn't matter, but like that unique play is the mentality of the winner. So yeah, I'm totally down for it. There's not that many moving forward that have the same upside. As much as
I think we're done at 4. And just thinking about like tiers, and tier breaks, because after that group of guys that normally goes like in the 5th and other formats, we're looking at guys like Jalen Warren, Ramondre. Like they're going to give us points, but why not take the guy who could just be a league winner in Tootin? I think it would just feel stronger.
Jags offense, the backfield, a little safer to project than if anything. BTJ was in the queue for the joke. Uh, you know, your favorite click, your favorite. Thank God we don't have to go Parker Washington 3 times in a row. Holy shit!
I don't even know if like this is the format to do it in.
Well, at this point, like it's just get your guy season. So
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
yeah. Marv wouldn't be bad either, just for like pure like ceiling outcomes with him.
Yeah.
Again, just thinking about tiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we start to look at more tight ends and quarterbacks again.
I think pushing tight end is the play I'd rather go with.
Okay,
Last round tight end, given the market today, I think is the move for me.
let's look at quarterback.
I mean, we don't have him stacked, but I love Herbert. I think we can wait on quarterback, bro.
Can too. Do you want to just go more skill position players?
Yeah, I kind of want to go Rico, like 30 points.
Do we
in
want a
2
fifth
weeks,
running back though?
I don't mind a fifth. A fifth, I'm okay with. In
Do you want
terms
to take Marv first?
we have 2 picks, sure. Yeah, if you want Marv, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I just want to like think it out a little bit more.
Yeah, we have 30 seconds. Why not? I mean, the reason why Rico Dowdle, I think, over the rest of them is because he had those 2 games with 200 fucking rushing yards. Like he's shown he can take over. Upside wise, there's not that many other guys that had a spike week like Rico. So
hey, if he's your guy, if that's what you want, let's go for it, man.
Sweet.
You've been a very generous host, giving me a long leash today. So, we got to get your guys too.
I mean, we only have 5 clicks left. Like, keep that in mind. When we need 2 more quarterbacks, we need 1 more tight end. So that's only 2 other skill players. I think they should both be receiver. And like, if you just want to wait to the last 3 rounds to go with the onesies, I think that's the play. Because right now, the ADP is fucked. The ADP makes no sense today. And it might adjust. This contest also might never adjust. So like, if people just stick to ADP over the course of this thing filling, then getting one of those unique plays that's a scroll down is where you really separate yourselves. And well, nobody else has, the Aaron Rodgers, Rico Dowdle. Like hypothetically, I'm not saying that's the piece you need, but like, if you need,
oh, you're right.
If let's say you need Cam Ward, there's maybe like 2% of teams that have Cam Ward. That's the thought process, especially tight end too. Like tight end could crush late, and it's probably not going to be drafted at all.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And I think I'm just used to like other contests where I look at ADP a lot and make decisions off that. Whereas, yeah, you're right. This is completely different. And yeah, no point in drafting it how you do other ones.
So in terms of like true ADP, the last one ranked is Jacoby Myers. So like if we wanted to take someone that's never been taken today, we could scroll down even further. But there is a cliff at receiver where I don't think it's really worth it. I'm Pearsall here. I could also
Can
go
we see
Godwin.
Quarterbacks and tight ends. I know said you want to wait, but like I would love Purdy and Pitts if we get those guys. Pitts is like a must draft for me right here. Just like for his weekly ceiling. This is a guy who got 40 points.
You're the guest, my friend. Let's do it. I would love to go Purdy and Pearsall, but Pitts, if you want him, is the move.
We could get Pearsall on the way back. Like he'll probably come. And like Purdy's another guy who got 40 points,
Yeah, you're right. The ADP is actually higher on Purdy than Pearsall. So let's do it.
Yeah, I love Kyle Pitts this year in general. And he's going after Kelsey in this draft. So like I would have been fine taking Pitts, 2 rounds ago. And yeah, truly elite ceiling. We saw him get 40 points last year, man.
He went after Kelsey, and we took Kelsey at 143 in the last one. Like, fucking.
Yeah, we had Pitts on that team too. Funny enough.
Yeah, I mean, for the discount, like Tucker Kraft around 8 or Kyle Pitts around 14. That is a pretty good discrepancy in value. So
I think you're right about the onesie positions, man. Like, especially quarterback. Like Dart can get 30-point weeks. Purdy can get 40-point weeks. Mahomes, he can get 30-point weeks. Like, how valuable is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson really compared to like the skill position drop off?
Yeah. I mean, Bowers, I think definitely the argument's there, but Allen's still the guy, but like, he's got a rough playoff schedule. Getting him to week 17 is not the easiest, but it's still
We
Josh
did
Allen.
miss
There,
out.
there is still that, but like when you factor it in compared to all these unique prices later, it's not that much worth it. Whereas like, is Allen versus Dart that big of a difference when you're factoring in Addison versus Chris Olave? Like how much does that really help you to take Allen in that scenario? But I definitely want some Josh Allen in this contest. Um, every team's going to be fucking loaded. So
Yeah, we missed out on Pearsall and Kittle, unfortunately. Wow, running backs, there's
I
all
know, yeah,
still
they're,
there. That's
they're all
insane.
still there, man. Um,
Holy. Wow, gross range.
Pearsall went. Um,
Yeah, like what do you even do?
I think we need one more quarterback. So which one do you want the most? We have
Well,
Goff
Goff
stacks.
stacks.
Let's go Goff. I think that's the
I
play.
think
And then
we lean towards the stack.
yeah, Goff is our third quarterback for sure. And then I think one more receiver because we have Neighbors as the play. But we can
Yeah.
genuinely scroll. Like if you want to go Jerry Judy, honestly, like we could. McMillan,
Let's look at tight end. Do we want a third tight end or two?
like I said, they're all going to be there. Kincaid,
Yeah. Let's take
Ferguson,
our receiver.
they're all undrafted.
Like Godwin's nice. He's just like, yeah, the best player available. But if you want to scroll, if you want to get weird, like you want to just take Stribling, how disgusting is that?
You got it, man. You got it.
Honestly,
It's
like, is it that bad of a play?
no, it's totally fucking worth. Like the ceiling nutted outcome on Stribling. Like if Evans goes down and we have, if Pearsall just sucks, then yeah, man. Like the Niners believed in him. He was the first pick of the second round. So why the fuck not? Like these picks, there's gonna be one pick that never matters to you, and it should be where you get weird. If anything, you should have three of those
Well,
picks.
exactly. Yeah, like truly, why not? You might be the only team in this entire contest that ever takes Stribling.
Definitely. Like in the first one I did in Huhaim's lobby, my last pick was Tank Bigsby. Like for good
Honestly,
measure.
it's a good pick. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the Ray Davis pick. If it hits, no one else has him. Yeah,
makes plenty of sense. But I think with Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts, we could still go with the third. I think the sixth running back is if
we
it
could just take
is.
another receiver if you want to. Like, I'll let you take whatever pick you want, man. You take your guy right here.
It's gonna
You
be
want
someone
Tank Bigsby?
undrafted.
Take Tank Bigsby.
I could.
I think our 5 running backs are really strong, though.
Here's what's I don't think it's a running back. Here's what's crazy about tight end though. Strange, Barner, Sadiq Schultz. I'm reading the ADP. Fryermuth, Jake Ferguson. Ferguson is behind Fryermuth right now. Likely Gunnar Helm, Hunter Henry, and then Dallas Goddard. Like, how the fuck? This makes no sense. It's day one. Like, this is the fucking time. A weird contest where the ADP is so unimportant, so irrelevant. Like Monungai is still on the board. You want to go Monungai?
I think we just take a shot on receiver if we're going to take a skill position. Especially because we have Neighbors and Stribling.
How about the Goddard bring back? I
like Goddard a lot. Is there a higher like single week player we could get at tight end?
I don't think so, man. He dropped multiple 20-pointers last year.
I love
Ferguson.
Goddard. Yeah, Goddard can get 2 touchdowns in a game. So
the bring back. Last year he had 20-point games like multiple times. He's got the value. All right, so there's no way you're not gonna like your roster when there's only 108 players drafted. But I think from a unique standpoint, we may have cooked here. We got Daniels unstacked, but who cares? The week 17 matchup against the Jags is pretty sweet. We got Purdy stacked up with Stribling. No one's got that. Goff with Gibbs and JMO. That feels pretty fire. And then running back is just goated with Gibbs, Genty, Chase Brown, Beischel, Tootin, Rico Dowdle. And then receiver is Nico Collins, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Malik Neighbors. That's really fun. JMO, Marvin Harrison, and then Stribling. And then tight end is really nice with Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts, and Dallas Goddard. Fun team.
Yeah, I don't really know like what to say for this because every team should look good, like
Yeah.
you said, and yeah, I feel like I was all over the place in this. So apologize to people listening for my indecisiveness, but yeah, first time doing this year, it is definitely a trippy way of drafting a team and thinking through it. You made a lot of good points.
If you're gonna try it, I recommend it's this week. Like if you're not gonna do a ton of them, do it when the ADP is not established, and then like maybe it'll just down the stretch, but it's possible that like people just don't scroll down and we have like one of 5% of shares on Dallas Goddard. Like he's fucking buried, and like, there's probably somebody else even later that's also interesting. Like Terrence Ferguson is ranked lower than Theo Johnson and Mason Taylor. like, like
You might be right, man. Maybe I will draft just a few of these teams, and if I'm gonna do any of them, I should just do it today and then not draft any more of them.
I
But
think that's
it's
the best
definitely
way.
like it's definitely intriguing, like uh the curious part of my brain and like how I can try and game this contest now. So you might have sparked something in me, my friend.
Well, I will say, like we said at the top, pulling the 101 or the 102 is where like now you're in such a better position to advance because you still have to win the pod, but like you're telling me you have running back in rounds 1, 2, and 3 at that turn. Like how many other teams in this lobby? Like let's take a look. Next to us is Bijan, James Cook, Saquon. He also has Brees and Javante. But like you know, the other teams, there's a CMC Walker team, there's a Hampton Achan team, Henry, Kyron Williams. Like, just the nature of how you can still fill in receiver later versus running back, you have to hammer running back early. If anything, like, almost no receivers should go. Maybe like 3 of them in the first 2 rounds. Like, they're not as valuable at all.
Yeah, Chase, Puka, JSN. Well, Chase and Puka for sure. I think JSN St. Brown are probably closer to second round picks if I'm looking at this. And then yeah, CD Jefferson probably should go closer to the third. But I like what we did, getting 3 strong running backs where you can't really replace those points. And then our receivers, Nico Smith, Garrett Wilson, Neighbors, JMO, like those are studs, man.
Every team is studded. That's the thing. Like, it's so easy to
Yeah. Yeah.
roster
Oh
bait,
yeah, of
basically.
course.
like, you
Yeah,
know.
man. Unreal. How could this ever fail?
Yeah, every team is destined for the finals in this one. So we have a couple members. This one will be easier to review, but like we have 3 people who have signed up for the membership, and I have a few minutes, so you can stick around as long as you want. But after this, I will have to bounce. But before we go, man, let the people know where they can find you. If anyone hasn't subscribed or checked out Jeary, the link is down below. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well. But he's a good friend. He's been on the channel multiple times, and we've been on his channel as well. It's always a blast drafting with Jeary. We draft some shippers every fucking time. But go ahead, let the people know what you got going on.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We always like drafting together. But at Jeary Football on YouTube, subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 before the start of the year. Jeary Football on Twitter. That's pretty much where we're at. Gonna go live after Nice and Blunt finishes today, probably like in 15 minutes or so after he wraps up the team reviews. I might leave you here though, just so I could grab a quick bite
No
and then
worries.
get ready for my own stream. But yeah, dude, always love drafting with you. Look forward to having you on the channel again soon too.
For sure, man. Always a blast, and I appreciate you moving up the time slot. But you got all night to do your own shit, and this was fun. The Parker Washington BTJ. Well, it's gonna link us for the until next year, and
Yeah, man. It'll
we
be
signed up
interesting.
for in the beginning. It was just what was destined to happen, I
Honestly,
guess. But
I feel like they're both probably just gonna end up being good picks.
here's the thing. I love that we're not like, will BTJ be like a top 20 receiver or not? Where it's just straight up, because I feel like the Travis Hunter hype, like I'm starting to buy in. I'm starting to get a little worried about Hunter, just a smidge, and like to the point where they might both be like a little bit less valuable than what their current cost is, but vis-a-vis each other, I don't have to worry about that. I just have to only
Yeah.
root against Parker Washington, and you against BTJ. So the Lord will decide. Hopefully, we get to week 11 and they're both still healthy and it's all locked in. But it's gonna be a fun time. Appreciate you hopping on, brother.
Appreciate you and enjoy your team reviews. Catch you later.
Sounds good. Peace. All right. We got a few team reviews and then we'll bounce. Let me link Jeary's channel right before I go as well, just so you guys can head over there in case you haven't. And I don't know if he has, let me see if his live stream is set up. Yeah, I'll link you directly to his live stream. He's doing right after this. He'll be live in 15 minutes and I'll drop it in the chat. Again, appreciate everyone for not minding my lack of engagement with the chat. Like I said, I do have to be out of here in like the next 5 minutes. So wanted to get 3 drafts in with Jeary, give him the microphone and the chance to talk. And we at least have the chance to do some team reviews right now. So we have Uzi Goated, became a member just the other day. We've got a 3582, like the build a lot in this one. We got Lamar, Herbert, and Mahomes. Obviously, that's fun. Will it be correlated? That's interesting. But Hampton with Herbert, always nice. Achane week 17. The Bills matchup is sweet. The upside on Travion is just almost unmatched. So perfect pick. Don't love the Bucky Irving selection. Kind of felt like you bought into the ADP slide, but like we saw some guys just go undrafted. ADP is worthless in this one. But could just be one of the nice players against the Rams defense, the week 17. That I think needs to be factored in. I think week 17 matchups are also relevant. But RJ Harvey in this one, also a discount. Nothing wrong with it. Upside galore. It is what it is. But receiver has Jamar, Jefferson, Rashi. So the stack is there. Waddle, Adams, Rome, Sutton, and Travis Hunter. Love the pull up on Hunter. I was looking for one name that maybe shouldn't be there. You need a name that shouldn't be there. That's the way to play it. So nice. Receiver room is really, really fun. Maybe a little bit too much early capital. Like we were saying with Jeary, maybe the receiver values early on should really fall as this contest goes through it, just because running backs are harder to replicate. But then tight end has the elite in Loveland. And then you did take Fannin 20 picks above ADP. I'm not trying to do that too often, but it's still the get your guys contest, so go for it. But yeah, it's hard not to like these teams. There is the correlation there, the bring back on Chase, and then maybe a stack with Herbert would have been nice, but you still have Hampton, so that checks out. Solid build. The Burgess went with a 3.582 as well with Drake May, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Henry, Kyron, Scatterbo, Quinshawn at 66, and then Pollard at 103. That's there it is. Yeah. A huge fall is what's more exciting in this. Like a 30 pick fall on a guy we know is a starter. That's more of an impressive pick than maybe like taking Bucky Irving with like a 5 pick slide in theory. But, you know, he might just also be irrelevant. There's also that. Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, so a lot of early capital. Egbuka, Tyson, QJ, Pierce, Pearsall at 91. You did reach on him. I wanted him. That's fine. And then Kraft at 43. The pull-up on Kraft is interesting. I got Kraft in round 13 earlier today, so that makes me feel good. But also Laporte at 54. The tight ends are probably worth pulling up, at least one of them. Very, very interesting. But like we mentioned, this link in the chat is to Jeary's stream. If you guys haven't checked it out, head over there, give him a sub, and or at least give him a chance. I think you will enjoy your time watching Jeary draft some teams. But thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate it. Fun stream as always. But yeah, there's one. Like I said, I feel like there's one pick that shouldn't be on the team, and that's where it might be missing. And I feel like some of these picks are very chalk. Like there's so many picks that are just so in line with ADP. It's going to be easy for someone else to do it. And then the pull up isn't bad, but it does look a little less impressive than the big faller, you know, at times. But it's all relative. It is what it is. The quarterback room, though, I like that Baker you took, who goes undrafted at least today. But it's so early in the contest. Who knows what'll end up happening with the ADP down the stretch. But A-Rod, my bad. Almost forgot. Thank you for saying something. But later, Pepper Tony, thanks for hopping in. Last team review is for A-Rod. He's got Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, and Jackson Dart. He did pull up Dart, maybe afraid that we would take him with neighbors. Dart has some of the highest ceiling. Excuse me. one of the highest ceilings, so totally a good pick in this one, especially if you have like Scatabo or Neighbors stacked. But you go with the 4 running back build, maybe looking at last year's winner, maybe inspired you. But CMC, Ken Walker, Swift, and Montgomery, if they all stay healthy, it's totally fine. The 4 RB build was proven to work, so don't mind that at all. Getting the 5th may help. It might not. It's totally legit. 8 receivers, JSN, London, Flowers, Olave, Terry, a little slide on Tet, only 5 picks though. Parker Washington at 68, and then Chris Godwin at 101 in the last round. Definitely a guy that probably should be drafted. But Kelsey, Kittle, and Kincaid, all 3 are not drafted as of today. Love it. Love the approach on tight end. If you don't get a stud, you got to punt. And then especially today, you have a chance to get very, very different. So yeah, very, very solid. But we got Austin saying, to be honest, Kraft is my overall tight end 2 on my projections, just behind Bowers, which is why I always draft Kraft. Dobbs was a touchdown eater, and Kraft still ate those touchdowns with him when healthy last year. I mean, maybe don't pull him up right next to Trey McBride, but to have a plant your flag player, this is the contest to do it. So I totally respect it. It is a bit expensive just knowing that I took Kraft in round 13 earlier today. Understand that you probably can get him at a cheaper cost. So that's the only thing to factor in. But we only draft 108 players in this one. The ADP is far, far less relevant. So fun teams. That's going to be it for me, though. And I appreciate everyone for hopping in. And shout out our boy Jeary. Like I said, we linked his stream in the chat. He's live in 8 minutes. So head over there and stick around. I think you'll have a good time watching Jeary's channel. So I had fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But until then, peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.